All three pro-union parties have already promised to transfer more powers from Westminster to Holyrood. Labour wants to give Scotland the power to vary income tax rates by 15%. The Conservatives go further, offering to give Holyrood full control over personal income tax. The Liberal Democrats say they'd allow the Scottish Parliament to raise most of its own taxes. Scotland has known for some time what the three pro-union parties plan to do to transfer more powers to Holyrood. The Conservatives, for example, announced their plan to devolve income tax back at the beginning of June, more than 3 months ago. George Osborne today did not announce a new plan. He announced that there would soon be a timetable for implementing the existing plan.
Well, it recently looks as if the No campaign think people in Scotland are daft. You know, if the No campaign parties had any serious intention of delivering substantial new powers for Scotland, then why is it taken until 10 days before polling day, with a poll showing yes in the lead, for them to come up with this?
This is a critical, even dangerous moment for the pro-union campaign. For the Yes campaign are increasingly convinced it is going the way that months ago they believed it would.
Well, it's impossible to say now with any certainty who is really in the lead. It's really too close for that. But there's not much doubt about where the momentum is tonight and where the growing confidence is. It's with the Yes campaign. Michelle.
Alan, thank you. Alan Little there in Glasgow. Let's turn to our political editor, Nick Robinson, who's here in the studio tonight. That's the mood in Scotland, Nick. What is the mood at Westminster? Are the parties rattled by what they're seeing in the Yes campaign?
Of course they are. I mean, for week after week, for month after month, Westminster politicians, whatever party they've been in, have been really confident in private that No would win. Yes, of course, they'd have to get the vote out, but No, they were certain would win. This one poll, even though, as Alan's been telling us, it could prove to be wrong, this one poll showing the Yes lead has had the effect, along with that closing gap, of making Westminster politicians, making everybody realise we could be 10 days away from the end of the United Kingdom. A constitutional crisis the like of which this country has never seen, shaking institutions from the monarchy to the armed forces, through the business community, and of course shaking the two key political parties that form governments in this country for so long. Now, the key fight back that they are planning, that George Osborne was alluding to, is trying to convince people that if they vote No, they still get change. You'll get a timetable for some form of constitutional convention which will consider Devo Max, more powers for the Scottish Parliament, in other words. But the problem and the confusion today is that these rival political parties don't agree who should announce it, where it should be announced, quite what the announcement should be. It's a bit like if you heard two of your friends were planning to break up and you called in three people who are barely on speaking terms and said, could you sort us out? George Osborne and Gordon Brown and others trying to come to an agreement. It's not easy. One last thing, Michelle. Part of this Yes vote surge appears to be a loathing of politics as usual and Westminster politics. That's why it's so hard for the No campaign.